Welcome to your personalized deep dive all about optimal health hacks.
Oh, health hacks. I love it.
We've got a whole bunch of your sources here.
Yeah.
It looks like you're really ready to put all this knowledge into action, especially for your health, huh?
Absolutely. That's what it's all about.
But maybe you're feeling a little bit, I don't know, overwhelmed with all the information out there.
It's a lot, isn't it?
There's so much, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's what we're here for, to break it all down.
That's right.
We're going to be diving into insights from Dr. Darren Shah.
Okay.
He's a leading expert in something called functional medicine.
I've heard of that.
Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's got this really cool concept called the wellness wheel.
Okay.
There's 12 points on it, but we're going to be focusing on the ones that stood out from your sources.
Right.
So things like nutrition, exercise, sleep, even things like gut health, and cancer prevention.
Sounds good.
So we're going to give you actionable tips, resources you can use right away.
I love that.
Yeah.
Let's dive in.
Let's dive in.
So, Dr. Shaw, one of his biggest tips is actually surprisingly simple.
Oh,
Ditch the ultra-processed foods.
okay.
He says it's like the 20% effort that gives you 80% of the results.
Wow. Okay, that's a good return on investment.
Right.
So
Yeah.
basically garbage in, garbage out, right?
Exactly. You are what you eat, as
Wait,
they say.
Yeah, exactly. But, okay, so ditch the junk, but how much protein should we actually be aiming for?
So he's got this clever visualization for this, and you're going to love this.
Okay.
Think about a deck of cards.
Okay, I'm picturing it.
So that's about 150 grams of protein.
Okay.
And that's about how much you should aim for daily,
Every day,
every single day.
150 grams of protein.
Yeah.
All right, so ditch the junk, focus on protein.
Yep.
Got it. What else does Dr. Shah recommend for optimal nutrition?
Okay, well, he is really big on managing your glucose response curve.
Okay, glucose response curve, that's a fancy term. What does that even mean?
Okay, well, think of it like this. Every time you eat, your blood sugar levels spike.
Right.
And how high that spike is and how quickly it comes down, that has a huge impact on your energy, your mood, even your long-term health.
Wow, okay, I'm definitely interested in learning how to manage that.
Yeah.
So how do we keep those spikes in check?
Well, he recommends using something called a CGM.
A CGM, is that one of those blood sugar monitors?
Yeah, it stands for Continuous Glucose Monitor.
Okay.
It's this tiny little device you wear, tracks your glucose levels 24/7.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I've heard of those, but I didn't realize they were for everyday people.
Yeah, they are.
I thought they were just for athletes or people with diabetes.
Nope, not anymore.
Okay, so anyone can use them.
Exactly, and he believes they're a game changer for personalized nutrition.
So it's like it really helps you understand how different foods affect you personally.
Absolutely, takes the guesswork out of it.
Yeah, because I know, like sometimes I eat something and I'm like, oh, I feel so sluggish after this.
Exactly, right.
Or I have a sugar rush, yeah.
This takes all the guesswork out.
That's amazing. So we've got CGMs. Any other nutrition tips?
He's also got this super simple hack for managing your glucose response.
Okay, I'm all about simple hacks.
This one's really easy.
All right.
When you're eating your meals, start with your veggies, then protein and fats, and save the carbs for last.
Wait, so the order we eat things in actually matters?
It totally matters.
Okay, wow, I had no idea.
Yeah.
I just kind of eat whatever's on my plate.
Yeah, most people do.
So starting with veggies, then protein, fats, carbs last.
You got it.
Okay, I can remember that. So what about supplements?
Okay, so he's not a huge fan of pushing a ton of supplements.
That's okay.
Unless you're really not getting enough protein and vegetables in your diet.
All right, makes sense.
But there are a few key ones that he does recommend.
Okay, fill us in. What are those?
Okay, so he recommends vitamin D3, K2,
Okay.
fish oil,
Okay.
or a vegan alternative like algal oil,
Got it.
magnesium,
Okay.
and creatine.
Okay, so I know vitamin D is important, but what about those other ones? Like, what makes them so special?
Okay, so a lot of people are deficient in vitamin D, and they don't even realize it.
Yeah, that's true.
And it can have long-term consequences for your health, increasing your risk of things like Alzheimer's, heart disease, hormone imbalances. It's really important.
Yikes. Okay, I'm adding vitamin D to my shopping list. What about fish oil?
So fish oil, that's a great source of omega-3 fatty acids.
Right.
And those are essential for brain health, reducing inflammation, supporting heart health.
I knew omega-3s were good for you, but I didn't realize all of those benefits.
They're a powerhouse.
Okay, cool. What about magnesium? I feel like I've heard that helps with sleep.
You're right, it does.
Okay.
Magnesium's involved in over 300 processes in the body.
Wow.
So things like muscle function, nerve function, blood sugar control, you name it, and it's a natural relaxant.
Yeah, that's why it helps with sleep.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. And then creatine, I thought that was just for, like, bodybuilders.
Oh, that's a common misconception.
Yeah.
Yeah, so creatine's known for its role in muscle growth, but it also has cognitive benefits.
Oh, really?
Yeah, studies have shown it can improve memory and mental focus.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, it's great for brain power.
Okay, so it's not just about muscles.
Not at all.
Okay. All right, interesting. So we've got supplements. Any other nutrition tips from Dr. Shaw?
Okay, so he also emphasizes the importance of knowing your numbers.
Okay.
So he loves this thing called the in-body scale.
The in-body scale, what's that?
It's this really cool tool that goes beyond your typical scale. It measures not just weight, but also things like your body fat percentage, muscle mass.
So it's really about understanding your body composition, not just the number on the scale.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense because I know muscle weighs more than fat, right?
Right.
So you can be working out, building muscle, but the number on the scale might not be going down.
Exactly, and that can be really discouraging. All right, so the in-body scale kind of helps you track your progress, make adjustments to your diet and exercise routine as needed.
It's like you said, you need to be the CEO of your own health.
Exactly.
And part of that is like understanding your body.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've covered nutrition. What about movement? Does Dr. Shaw have any exercise hacks?
Oh, he does. He has a really fascinating perspective on exercise.
Okay.
And he's got some great tips for making movement a natural part of your life.
Okay, that sounds good because I know a lot of people, myself included, struggle with fitting exercise into their busy schedule.
Right. Well, he emphasizes that sedentary behavior is a silent killer.
Okay, silent killer, that sounds serious.
It is. Did you know that for every 10% increase in time spent sitting, all-cause mortality increases by 10%?
Whoa, that's a scary statistic.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty shocking.
So I guess sitting is the new smoking, huh?
It kind of is.
Okay, so what's the antidote? Hitting the gym for hours every day.
Well, not necessarily.
Mhm.
He recommends incorporating what he calls exercise snacks throughout your day.
Exercise snacks, that sounds fun.
It is fun. It's all about breaking up those long periods of sitting.
Okay.
So every 45 minutes,
Right.
get up and move around for about 10 minutes.
Okay.
Could be a brisk walk, some stretches. You could even have a little dance party.
I love that. A little dance party.
It's all about getting your blood flowing, preventing your body from going into hibernation mode.
It's like little bursts of energy throughout the day.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that seems a lot less daunting than like carving out an hour for a workout.
It is, and it's just as effective.
Okay, so we've got exercise snacks. Any other exercise recommendations?
So he also suggests incorporating strength training, especially after 40.
Okay, why is strength training so important as we age?
Well, as we get older, we naturally start to lose muscle mass,
Yeah.
and that loss can contribute to a whole bunch of health problems.
Okay.
So strength training helps to counteract that decline.
So it's like, it's not just about looking good, it's about like feeling good and staying strong as you age.
Exactly.
Okay, what else?
He's a big fan of 7-minute HIIT routines.
7-minute HIIT routines. I've heard of HIIT workouts, but they sound so intense.
They can be challenging, but they're super efficient.
Okay.
And there are modifications for all fitness levels.
Okay, so even if you're not like a super athlete, you can still do HIIT.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. And then what about, he also mentions social exercise, right?
Yes. Yes, he loves social exercise.
So working out with friends, basically.
Exactly.
Okay.
It makes fitness more enjoyable. It makes it sustainable.
Yeah, because if you're doing it with friends, you're more likely to stick with it.
Exactly. And it's fun.
It is fun, yeah. Okay, so think pickleball, hiking with friends, even escape rooms.
You got it.
That's such a fun way to look at it. It's about making movement a natural part of your life, not a chore.
I love that.
Yeah, right?
Absolutely.
So we got nutrition, we've got movement. What about sleep?
Sleep. Oh, sleep is so crucial for optimal health.
I know, I feel like I never get enough sleep.
Well, Dr. Shoy has some really valuable insights on how to improve your sleep quality.
Okay, I'm all ears. I need all the help I can get.
All right, so remember, he recommends using sleep trackers strategically.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Okay, so he's a fan of trackers like the Oura Ring, Whoop, or 8 Sleep.
Okay.
But he emphasizes they should be used for gaining insights, not obsessing over the numbers.
Oh, okay. So it's not about stressing over every little dip and spike in your sleep data.
Exactly. Use them to understand your sleep patterns, identify potential issues like sleep apnea.
Oh, sleep apnea. That sounds scary.
It can be, yeah, and experiment with different routines to see what works best for you.
Okay, so it's about using them as a tool, not letting them rule your life.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense. He mentioned sleep apnea as a concern. What are some signs that you might have that?
So he highlights waking up gasping for air,
Okay.
excessive snoring, daytime sleepiness, even feeling tired after a full night's sleep.
Okay, those are some red flags.
They are. And if you suspect you might have sleep apnea, he recommends taking the Stop Bang questionnaire.
Stop Bang questionnaire. What's that?
It's a simple assessment that can help determine if you need to be evaluated by a doctor.
Okay, and I'm guessing I can find that online.
You can. You can easily find it online.
All right, so we've talked about tracking our sleep, being aware of potential issues like sleep apnea, any other tips for improving sleep quality.
Oh, absolutely. He recommends creating what he calls a cave-like sleep environment.
A cave-like sleep environment. That sounds interesting.
It is. So think cold, dark, and quiet.
Okay, like a real cave.
Exactly. So aim for a temperature around 65 degrees. Use blackout curtains. Consider a white noise machine.
Makes sense. It's like creating a sanctuary for sleep.
Exactly.
Okay, so what about those nights when you wake up in the middle of the night and you can't fall back asleep? Any tips for that?
Yeah, he outlines 3 common culprits for that.
Okay, let's hear them.
So needing to use the bathroom, he calls that nocturia, anxiety or stress, and eating too close to bedtime.
Okay, all things I've definitely struggled with.
Yeah, I think most of us have at some point.
So, any solutions for those?
Yeah, for nocturia, there are medications and exercises that can help.
Okay.
For anxiety, he suggests keeping a notebook by your bed, to jot down worries or thoughts that are keeping you awake.
Okay, like a worry journal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then to avoid those nighttime glucose surges, finish your last meal at least 3 to 4 hours before bed.
Okay, so it's really about being mindful of those habits and making adjustments as needed to create an environment that's promoting restful sleep.
Absolutely.
Okay, and then he also, I know you mentioned establishing a consistent sleep routine,
Yes, he emphasizes that.
even on weekends, which is hard, but I know it's important.
It helps regulate your body's natural sleep-wake cycle.
And then, of course, limiting electronics before bed.
That's a big one.
It's hard, but I know it's important.
It is.
It's amazing how all these things are connected, Our sleep, our diet, our exercise habits, they all play a role in our overall well-being.
It's all interconnected.
It is. And it really highlights the importance of taking a holistic approach to health, like we were saying at the beginning.
Absolutely.
Okay, so speaking of holistic health, what about gut health?
Gut health, that's a good one.
How do you even know if you might have gut issues?
Okay, so Dr. Shah recommends monitoring your HSCRP level.
HSCRP, what's that stand for?
It stands for highly sensitive C-reactive protein,
Okay.
and that's a marker of inflammation in the body.
Okay.
So elevated HSCRP levels can often indicate an underlying gut problem.
So inflammation is a sign that something might be off in the gut.
It can be, yeah.
Okay, so what are some common causes of gut issues?
Well, Dr. Shah highlights food sensitivities, particularly to gluten and dairy, as common culprits.
Okay, so it might not be the food itself, but it might be a sensitivity to that food.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's not that bread is inherently bad, but you might have a sensitivity to gluten.
Right. And he emphasizes working with a functional medicine doctor to identify any food sensitivities
Okay.
and then create a gut healing protocol.
It's amazing how much our gut health can impact our overall well-being.
Isn't it fascinating?
It's incredible.
Yeah, it really is.
What about cancer prevention? I know Dr. Shah is a big proponent of early detection.
He is. He believes early detection is crucial for successfully treating cancer.
Okay.
And so he recommends full-body MRIs.
Full body MRI, that scans your whole body.
Exactly. Scans your whole body, looks for tumors and other potential health concerns like aneurysms.
Okay, so it's like a really comprehensive screening tool.
It is, and he specifically recommends the ProScan.
The ProScan. Okay, I haven't heard of that one.
It's a great one.
Okay, what are some of the advantages of a full body MRI? Why would you choose that over other types of scans?
Well, one of the big advantages is that it provides a comprehensive view of your body without exposing you to radiation.
Oh, okay, so it's safer than a CT scan, for example.
Exactly. And with advancements in technology, these scans are becoming quicker and more affordable.
Okay, good to know. He also mentioned liquid biopsies. What are those?
So liquid biopsies are a revolutionary new tool for cancer detection.
Okay.
And it involves a simple blood test.
Okay.
And they can detect DNA fragments from active tumors.
Wow, so you can actually see if there's cancer present just from a blood test.
Oh, it's pretty amazing.
That's incredible. What types of cancer can it detect?
So right now there's one called the Gallery test,
Okay.
and that one can identify over 50 types of cancer,
Wow.
including many that are hard to diagnose in their early stages.
Okay, so it's really about catching it early,
Exactly.
before it has a chance to spread.
Exactly.
So that's
Exactly.
the benefits of detecting cancer early.
Well, early detection significantly increases the chances of successful treatment.
Okay.
When cancer is caught in its early stages, it's often much easier to treat and has a better prognosis.
Right, so it's really about being proactive
Absolutely.
and catching it before it has a chance to become a bigger problem.
Exactly.
Okay, so full body MRIs, liquid biopsies. Does Dr. Shah recommend any other types of cancer screenings?
Yes, he stresses that traditional screenings like colonoscopies, mammograms, and PSA tests are still crucial.
Okay, so it's not about replacing those traditional screenings.
Not at all.
It's about adding these other tools to the arsenal.
Exactly, using all the tools available to stay on top of your health.
Yeah, and catch any potential problems early on.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've talked about detecting cancer early. What about detoxifying your environment?
Detoxifying your environment, that's a big one.
I know Dr. Shah talked about that as well.
He did. So he recommends focusing on the areas where you spend the most time. So your home, your workplace.
Okay.
And he suggests investing in air purifiers to clean the air, installing a reverse osmosis system under your kitchen sink to filter your drinking water, and choosing organic foods whenever possible.
Okay. Those are all great tips, but they can seem a little overwhelming, you know? Is there an easy way to figure out which products are the safest? I don't want to have to research every single thing I buy.
Well, he recommends using an app called Think Dirty.
Think Dirty? Okay.
Yeah, you can scan the barcode of a product, and it rates the toxicity of the ingredients.
Wow. Okay.
It's a great resource for making informed decisions about the products you use.
The Think Dirty app sounds really useful. I'm definitely going to check that out.
Yeah, it's great.
He also recommends drinking water from glass bottles rather than plastic ones, right?
Yes, it's all about reducing our exposure to harmful chemicals.
Okay, so it's not just about what we eat. It's about, the products we use, the air we breathe, the water we drink.
It's all about creating a healthy environment.
Wow, Dr. Shea's insights are so valuable.
They are.
It's clear he's, really passionate about helping people take control of their health and live longer, healthier lives.
He is,
Really
absolutely.
empowered to make positive changes.
That's great.
But there's one thing he didn't really touch on: stress management.
You're right, he didn't.
Yeah, I feel like that's a huge part of overall well-being.
It is. You're absolutely right.
And it kind of affects all the areas we've discussed, like our nutrition, our exercise, our sleep.
It does. Stress plays a huge role in all of that.
Yeah, so even though he didn't explicitly talk about it, stress management is an important piece of the puzzle.
I would say it's a cornerstone.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow, this has been incredibly informative so far.
it has.
I feel like I have a much better understanding of, the key elements of optimal health, but where do we go from here?
Well, that's a great question.
What does all this mean for you, the listener?
Well, I think it means you have the power to make choices that will support your health and well-being.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be overwhelming. Start by incorporating a few of Dr. Shah's recommendations into your daily routine. Focus on eliminating ultra-processed foods, incorporating more movement into your day, creating that restful sleep environment, being mindful of your gut health, and yes, don't forget to manage that stress.
I love that. It's about taking action and making those positive changes, but it's also about being patient with yourself, right?
Absolutely. Rome wasn't built in a day.
Yeah, exactly.
Neither's optimal health.
It's a journey, not a destination.
It is.
And it's important to celebrate your progress along the way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's about those small wins that add up over time.
Love that.
And it's about being kind to yourself throughout the process.
So important.
You're not alone on this journey.
You're not, there are resources available to support you, and there's a whole community of people out there striving to live healthier lives.
That's the beauty of it. We're all in this together.
We are.
Well, this has been fantastic so far.
It has.
We've covered so much ground, and there's still more to explore.
There is.
In part 2, we'll continue our exploration of Dr. Shai's insights.
Okay.
And we'll delve into some specific tests he recommends for assessing your heart health.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating. So until then, stay curious, keep learning, and keep making those small, consistent changes
I love that.
that will lead to a healthier, happier you.
Absolutely.
We'll see you back here for part 2 of your personalized deep dive into optimal health hacks.
Sounds great. Welcome back. We've been exploring some incredible insights from Dr. Darren Shaw on optimizing your health. And you've already learned some really actionable tips on things like nutrition, movement, sleep, and even gut health and cancer prevention.
It's amazing how interconnected all these aspects of our well-being truly are, and like you said, we're all about turning knowledge into action. So what are some key takeaways from what we've covered so far?
I think it all comes down to making those small, sustainable changes that you can actually stick with over time.
Right, because it's not about like doing everything perfectly all at once.
Exactly. It's about progress, not perfection.
And those small changes add up over time.
Absolutely. And remember Dr. Shah's advice to ditch those ultra-processed foods?
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
Huge. And incorporating those exercise snacks throughout the day.
Love those exercise snacks. It's such a great way to just like get moving without having to commit to a full workout.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, creating that cave-like sleep environment.
Oh yeah, I've been trying that. It's amazing how much of a difference it makes.
It really does. But, one thing that keeps coming back to me is Dr. Shah's emphasis on knowing your numbers.
Oh yeah, knowing your numbers, he's all about that.
He is. He really is. And, we talked about the in-body scale for understanding your body composition.
Yeah, that's a cool tool.
It is. It is. But what other tests does he recommend? Especially for things like heart health.
Well, I know he's a big advocate for understanding your heart health, even if you're young and think you're healthy, right?
He is. He really stresses the importance of getting your ApoB and LPA levels checked.
Now, I'm not a doctor, so can you break those down for me? Like, what are ApoB and LPA, and why are they so important?
Absolutely. So basically, they're measures of different types of cholesterol in your blood. But here's the thing. They can reveal potential heart health risks
Yeah,
that might not be obvious from, like, a typical cholesterol panel.
yeah.
No.
Oh, interesting. So even if your overall cholesterol seems okay, these tests can uncover hidden risks?
Exactly. So ApoB, that measures the total number of atherogenic lipoprotein particles in your blood. And think of those as tiny packages that carry cholesterol.
Okay.
And the more of those particles you have, the higher your risk of developing heart disease.
So even if your LDL, the so-called bad cholesterol, is within a normal range, your ApoB could be high, and that's a red flag.
It is. It absolutely is a
Huh.
red flag. And then LPA, that's a whole other beast. It's a genetic form of cholesterol.
Okay.
So it's not something you can really control through diet or exercise, unfortunately.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And unfortunately, even small amounts of LPA can significantly increase your risk of heart attack and stroke.
That sounds pretty serious. So getting these tests can give us valuable information about our heart health even before we experience any symptoms.
Exactly. It's all about being proactive and taking steps to prevent heart disease before it becomes a problem.
I like that. It's like, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Absolutely.
So let's say someone gets these tests and their ApoB or LPA levels are elevated. What happens next?
So if your ApoB is high, Dr. Shah recommends getting a heart scan.
A heart scan, okay.
This can help to detect any blockages in the arteries, which then allows for early intervention.
It's amazing how far medical technology has come. We can now identify potential heart problems years, even decades, before they might otherwise become apparent.
It's incredible, and it empowers us to take control of our heart health and make those necessary changes to prevent those future complications.
Well, this has been another fascinating deep dive into Dr. Shane's recommendations. We've covered a lot of ground, from nutrition and exercise to sleep, gut health, cancer prevention, and now even heart health.
It's all connected.
It
And remember, you don't have to do everything at once.
Right.
Start small, pick one or two areas to focus on, and build from there.
That's such good advice. It's about progress, not perfection.
Absolutely.
And speaking of progress, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on something Dr. Shaw didn't explicitly address, mindset.
Mindset, that's a good point. It seems like mindset plays a huge role in making these changes stick.
Yeah, like if you're not in the right headspace, it's going to be really hard to stick to those healthy habits.
You're absolutely right. Mindset is everything. Dr. Shaw talks about becoming the CEO of your health. And that means taking ownership of your well-being, making informed decisions, and being proactive rather than reactive.
It's about being your own best advocate,
Exactly.
right?
And it's about recognizing that health is a journey, not a destination. There will be ups and downs, but it's important to be kind to yourself along the way.
That's such an important point, It's easy to get caught up in that all or nothing mentality, especially when it comes to health.
Oh, absolutely. We feel like we have to be perfect or we failed.
Yeah, and then we just give up.
Exactly. But that kind of thinking can be incredibly discouraging and ultimately lead to giving up altogether.
Yeah, so true. It's about progress, not perfection. And it's about celebrating those successes along the way.
Yes, acknowledge and appreciate the effort that you're putting in.
I love that. Well, I'm feeling inspired and motivated to keep exploring these ideas, and I know there's still more to uncover, right?
There is. In the final part of this deep dive, we'll be exploring how to create a healthy environment, both internally and externally. So we'll delve into Dr. Shea's advice on detoxifying your surroundings and your body, and we'll touch on the importance of community and connection.
Sounds fascinating. Can't wait to hear more. So, to our listeners, we'll see you back here soon for the final part of your personalized deep dive. Welcome back to the final part of your deep dive into optimal health.
You know, we've covered so much ground already.
I know it's been a whirlwind of information.
It has.
From nutrition and exercise to sleep, gut health, even cancer prevention and heart health.
It's a lot.
But now we're going to shift gears a bit
Okay.
and talk about creating a healthy environment, both internally and externally.
Ooh, I like that.
Like setting the stage for optimal well-being, right?
Absolutely. You know, it's not just about what we put into our bodies, it's also about the environment we surround ourselves with.
Exactly. So where do we even begin?
Well, Dr. Shaw emphasizes the importance of detoxifying our surroundings. Remember, we talked about reducing our exposure to those harmful chemicals in our homes and workplaces.
Yes, we talked about investing in air purifiers, filtering our drinking water, being mindful of the products we use on our bodies. It's crazy how many toxins we're exposed to every single day.
It is. It's pretty
Yeah.
alarming when you think about
It
it.
is.
But, you know, we can definitely take steps to minimize that exposure.
Right.
And Dr. Shaw reminds us that our skin is our largest organ,
Oh, that's right.
and it absorbs whatever we put on it.
So what we put on our skin is just as important as what we put in our mouths.
You got it.
Wow. Okay.
He suggests taking a closer look at our personal care products. Think about all those shampoos, conditioners, soaps, lotions, makeup, deodorant. All of those contain ingredients that can be absorbed into our bloodstream.
Okay, that's kind of unsettling. So how do we even know which products are safe?
That Think Dirty app that we mentioned earlier, it's a lifesaver.
Okay, the Think Dirty app.
Yeah, scan the barcode. It'll give you a rating based on the ingredients.
You know what? I actually downloaded that app,
Oh, good.
and I've been surprised by the ratings of some of the products I've been using.
I know, right? It's eye-opening.
It's definitely made me more aware of what I'm putting on my body.
It's all about making informed choices.
Right.
And Dr. Shah also emphasizes the importance of detoxifying our bodies internally.
Okay, so we've talked about cleaning up our external environment, but what about internally? How do we do that?
Well, one of the key things he recommends is supporting our liver function.
Okay, the liver, right? That's our main detoxification organ.
Exactly. Got to keep it healthy.
But how do we do that?
Certain foods and supplements can really help.
Okay, like what?
So cruciferous vegetables, things like broccoli and Brussels sprouts, they're great for liver detox.
Okay, cruciferous veggies. Got it.
And he recommends supplements like milk thistle
Okay.
and N-acetylcysteine, that's also known as NAC.
And see, okay.
And those can help protect the liver from damage.
So it's a combination of diet and targeted supplementation.
Absolutely. And he also stresses the importance of staying hydrated. Water is essential for flushing out toxins. Make sure you're drinking plenty of it throughout the day.
That's a good reminder. I've definitely noticed a difference in how I feel when I'm properly hydrated.
Right.
So we've covered detoxifying our environment, our bodies. What else does Dr. Shecky recommend for creating that healthy environment for optimal well-being?
You know, he talks about the importance of community and connection. Remember when we talked about social exercise?
Yes, it's not just about the workout itself. It's about the social aspect.
Exactly. Surrounding ourselves with people who lift us up and inspire us to be our best selves, that's crucial.
It's like that saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
That's a good one. So Dr. Shea encourages us to find our tribe, people who share our values, who support our health goals.
It makes sense. It's easier to stick to those healthy habits when you've got a supportive community cheering you on, and it's just more fun.
Absolutely. And Dr. Shea's final piece of advice for creating that healthy environment is to cultivate a positive mindset. He talks about the power of gratitude, the importance of focusing on those good things in our lives.
That's a great reminder. It's so easy to get caught up in the negative, but just shifting our focus to gratitude can make a world of difference.
It really can. And, he also encourages us to practice self-compassion.
Self-compassion. Okay.
It's about being kind to ourselves,
Yeah.
especially when we make mistakes or face setbacks.
I think that's one of the hardest things for many of us to do.
It is. We're often our own worst critics.
So true. But remember, progress, not perfection, right?
Exactly.
Well, this deep dive has been incredible. We've explored Dr. Shaw's insights on optimizing nutrition, incorporating movement, improving sleep, supporting gut health, preventing cancer, taking care of our heart health, creating a healthy environment, even cultivating a positive mindset. It's been a holistic journey.
It has. It's been amazing how all of these pieces fit together.
So to our listener, we hope you've gained some valuable insights from this deep dive.
You hope so.
Remember, you have the power to make choices that support your health and happiness.
You do.
Start small, be consistent, be kind to yourself, and don't be afraid to ask questions.
Those are great words to live by.
And most importantly, enjoy the journey.
Yes, enjoy the journey.
Until next time, stay curious, keep learning, and keep diving deep. This is The Deep Dive. Signing off.